is one of NASCAR's oldest racing divisions. Today, the series celebrates its 500th start. And this race is a big one as drivers from the north and south come together for a 300-lap showdown at Martinsville Speedway. Welcome to Martinsville, Virginia, and the Made in America Wheeling 300 from the Martinsville Speedway. Hi, folks. Mike Hawkwood here along with Phil Parsons. Good to have you with us. Derek Perniciglio is down on the pit lane. We're getting near the end of the season in both the north and the south. Derek had a chance a moment ago to talk to some of the points leaders about today's race.
Ted Christopher leads the Whelen Modified Series points. He starts 6th today, and Teddy, this is a tight, tough track. You've won here before. What's the secret to getting around Martinsville?
Good motor, good brakes, good car, so all that stuff combined.
Last time we raced, you won at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Any chance of making it back-to-back wins?
Yeah, we got a real good car. I think we can. Like I said, this is a long race. It's a matter of being there towards the end, and we've been able to do that the last 3 years, so hopefully we can put that together for today and have a good finish at the end today, maybe be in the winner's circle.
Matt, you're right behind Teddy Christopher. Can you catch him for the championship?
Well, yeah, with 4 races, we certainly are within striking distance. Today's a long race here today, and then we still got 3 more races after this. So yeah, we're plenty close enough to have a shot at this. If all goes well, I'm hoping to go into the last race with a chance, and we'll see how it goes.
I think Matt's definitely going to have a chance. Only 99 points behind Teddy Christopher with 4 races to go. And again, he talked about this being a long one. Chuck Hosfeld probably out of the picture here, but here we've got another good point battle in the Southern Series. We got LD Miller only 32 points behind.
Yeah, the top 3 are awfully close, and then Burt Myers has got a fast car here. Derek's got him in his race car.
Burt Myers was the fastest of all Southern Modified drivers. Through the luck of the redraw, he's going to start on the outside pole. And Burt, it's a 150-lap race. Ryan Preece says he's going to use that first half of the race to figure the car out. Will you do the same?
Yeah, somewhat. Basically what you got to do is try to survive and make it to halfway and stay up front with some good track position. And tell you, we've got one more good race car today, so I hope we can be there at the end.
With track position being so important and the first 150 laps also being crucial to find out what's wrong with the car, how do you run the first half of this race?
Well, you've got to run hard to keep your track position, but you got to be smart. And you don't want to use up your car. I don't want to compare it to a cup race, but you hear them talk about how the cup cars have to save their brakes and save their equipment to the end, and we'll play somewhat part of that today because it is such a long race that these cars are, we're not used to running this many laps on our equipment. So I think at the halfway break, we'll get everything squared away and we'll be in good shape.
Well, guys, it says Dirty South on the front end of Burt Myers Modified. We're going to see today if the South can rise again.
Bill, since the Southern Modified was formed 4 years ago, we haven't had a Southern driver win this race.
We really haven't, but I think that a lot of guys like Burt Myers is extremely strong, especially here at this racetrack in Martinsville.
Well, the engines have fired. We're ready to go. We'll be back to Martinsville in just a moment. Back in Martinsville, a lot of differences in these cars from a regular stock car, and that includes the tires, Derek.
You know, guys, one of the first differences that you notice between the modifieds and the stock cars are the tires. This is a stock car tire. It measures 10 inches wide. This is the same type of tire that you'll find on a Nationwide Series car, Sprint Cup car, or Craftsman Truck Series truck. Over here on my left is a Whelen Modified Series tire. 15 inches wide, 5 more inches of rubber on the track. If you break down those numbers and do the math, it's like having 6 tires on the car instead of 4.
Mike, it's incredible how deep these cars can drive down in the corners. You see, they only weigh 2,610 pounds. They have V8 engines. Basically, it's about a 600 horsepower engine here, very much like the old Busch Series used to have before they went to a bigger carburetor.
And it's fun to watch them race on a track here at Martinsville. Here's our starting lineup. And Phil, after the top 8 was decided, they went and drew for position. Bobby Hutchins, Burt Myers drew on the front row, but Ryan Preece was the fastest qualifier.
Yeah, we have an all-South front row with Bobby Hutchins and Burt Myers. Bobby Hutchins, is the competition director, VP at DEI during the day, and this is his weekend thing.
Also invented the Hutchins device.
Exactly, that's exactly right.
And I look through the starting lineup. There's some big names here like Jamie Tomeno and Eddie Flimke.
Yeah, Eddie Flimke Jr. right there. Eddie Flimke III, I guess. And
his dad was something special.
Sure it was.
Back on row 19, Rich Kuhn is there, and 22 rows, 43 drivers make up this field. Boy, that's an impressive sight, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's a lot of cars on this little half-mile racetrack, too.
Really is. You've driven Martinsville. What's the key to getting around here?
Really getting that car to turn in the center of the corner. And these modifieds have so much tire, as Derek was talking about. It's a lot easier. We're getting ready to go green.
Green flag is out. Bobby Hutchins leading them to the green.
Ooh, contact already. Hutchins and Burt Myers.
Going into the first turn. Hutchins in the one car of Burt Myers.
Ryan Preece takes over the lead. Oh, trouble behind them.
That was Reggie Ruggiero, one of the big names in this sport in the 11 car.
Brian Lofton, he's our point leader in the South Series. Let's take a look at what happens. So there's the contact. There's a contact right there. Ryan Preece actually made contact with Burt Myers as well, and then the chain reaction caught up these guys.
This is a big race, combination between the North, if you will, and the South. Everybody wants to do well, and you just want to get started good, so sometimes things will happen.
Yeah, and this, traditionally was one of the biggest races of the year for the modifieds. You can see Burt Myers get a real nice jump on the restart. But now with Loudon, being basically the Daytona 500 of the Northern modifieds, this is still the biggest event that they combine the two series.
The 3 car is Ryan Preece. He's only 17 years old.
Coming off a great finish last time out at Loudon. He finished second to Teddy Christopher.
Preece has not won in his career.
He's only 17. How much of a career has he had?
Well, he started last year at 16. They just lowered the age to 16. And guys like Joey Logano and Ryan Preece getting their touring career started early.
I think that was a great move, too, by NASCAR. It's still 18 for the Nationwide Series, the Truck Series, and the Cup Series. But it's going to got a pass for the lead.
That is Preece taking it to the front, getting by Burt Myers. Myers, a veteran out of nearby Walnut Cove, North Carolina.
Long history with that family.
Well,
Bobby and Billy Myers back in the day, back in the very origins of NASCAR. Chocolate Myers, who we all know is actually the uncle of Burt Myers.
You talk about Myers and Bowman Gray Stadium, modified. Are huge there, and Myers has always seemed to be battling for the championship.
It might have been Burt's dad, Gary, battling for the championship with Bowman Gray.
Burt's got 3 of them at that racetrack, and he's had successful seasons all 4 years of this Southern Modified Tour, and right now running second behind Ryan Preece out of Kensington, Connecticut.
A lot of history with that 3 car, too. Remember the old the late Lenny Bowler fielded this car.
What is it they called it? Old Blue?
The Blue 3.
Yeah. And if you are a regular follower of modifieds, you know how famous that car is. And right now, it's out in front. Had a little issues getting this race started, but now everybody seems to have kind of gotten in line and content to drive around a little bit. Battle for 6th position. That is the 59 of Matt Hirschman.
Teddy Christopher, trying to go back-to-back. He won our last time out at Loudon. Looks like caution's out.
Caution is out on the speedway here. And Buddy Emery having some problems. Brought his car down onto the pit lane. Ryan Preece is our leader here in Martinsville. Back in Martinsville at the Made in America Whelen 300. And you see on that graphic, Phil, there on the left, just the 500th race of the series.
Boy, it really is. And that's pretty historic. I think the series started in this form back in 1985. The modifieds go way back to the origins of NASCAR, but 500 races since they started back in 85. That's incredible we've got this far.
And in the northeast of this country is where they really made a name for themselves, as you see young Ryan Preece out in front. Look at Goodale and Burt Myers battling for second place. Myers is going to take it now, the Southern driver, who said he thinks he's got a car that can get it done today.
Burt ended up starting on the pole because of the redraw. There's the Mystic Missile, the number 4 on the outside. Chuck Hosfeld battling with Teddy Christopher in the 86 car.
Teddy Christopher, of course, as we've documented, leading the points there in that red 86. And I guess we would say the North Modified Series, but they call that the Whelen Modified, and then it's the Southern Whelen Modified Series.
The same rules, North and South, and then they come together here at this race, and usually have a great race. You see Chuck Hosfeld battling on the outside. Teddy Christopher able to get by him, though.
Hard to believe that Ted Christopher has not won a championship in this series.
He's won so many races, been so close so many times, he's never quite been able to pull it off, but he's got the point lead now with 4 races to go.
There's Matt Hirschman making his way up through the field. Hirschman in that white 59.
Chuck Hosfeld caught up on the outside, was able to make that pass on the inside of the racetrack. There's the 2 Todd Zegedy right now, right behind the 4 of Chuck Hosfeld.
Zegedy out of Ridgefield, Connecticut. He's a former champion. Right in front of Hirschman. You talk about former champions. How about Mike Stefanik? 7 titles in this modified series.
It's incredible. And also has won the Busch North Series, now Camping World East Series. He's won that title at least a couple times.
Won it twice. Matter of fact, one year he won the modified and the Camping World Series championship same year.
I think he did that twice. He won both division championships in the same year. That's incredible.
That's Mike Stefanik. Also, you can't count out today. Boy, look at Hirschman battling for position there with Stefanik.
Hirschman's going to be able to get to the inside of Stefanik. Got up beside him, getting down in turn number 3, is going to be able to make the pass.
And if that name's familiar, it should be. He's the son of 5-time champion Tony Hirschman. Matter of fact, he was the crew chief for his dad in his final 2 championships.
You know, that's much like the David Gilliland story with his dad, Butch Gilliland.
Right.
Butch won the West Series championship, and David was the crew chief.
Absolutely. David, of course, now in the Cup Series, driving for Robert Yates.
Ryan Preece continuing to lead. Burt Myers has chased him down now in the 1 car.
He's come close this year, Ryan Preece, to winning a race. Just hadn't been able to do it. As you see, Teddy Christopher marching up through the field.
It's a battle for the 4th spot right there.
George Brunholzl, another name that has been around modified racing for a while.
I spent a lot of money with George III and his dad, George Jr., on their jacks. You know, they're one of the guys that really reinvented the race jack, the pit jack.
That's the 1-pump jack, right?
1 pump.
Yeah.
Well, if you're strong enough, it's 1 pump.
You and I. No way.
It might be 2-3 pumps.
Exactly. That's why they get those big X football players on those jacks to do that.
Trouble.
There's a spin. Jason Myers.
That's actually Burt's brother, Jason, and Ronnie Silk. Look at the damage to the left rear of Ronnie Silk's car. It's pushed that rear end housing back.
Young Ryan Preece still out on top in the Made in America Whelen 300. You're watching one of the biggest modified races of the year. Combination race between South and North. And that's what we have on the front row. Ryan Preece from the North. Burt Myers on the outside from the South as we get set to go back to green.
Ryan Preece dominated this race since the very start. He took the lead on lap number 5 or 6. Has not really been seriously challenged since. Burt Myers ran him down before that last caution flag. As you see Burt getting the advantage in second over Kevin Goodale.
You know, you talk to so many of these drivers, though, this is a 300-lap race. This is longer than they normally run. And a lot of guys know they have to be patient.
That's
to
right.
have something at the
They're
end.
going to have a halftime break here at lap 150. They're allowed to change 6 tires during this race. They can put 4 of them on if at that halftime break if they would choose, but they can also put 2 other tires on some other time in this race.
I love in these series the halftime break.
I do too. I do too.
Matt Hirschman just gained another position. George Brunholzl, as you see, currently running 4th. Oh, the caution is out.
Brian Lofton involved again. Remember, he's our Southern Point leader. That's the 14. Is that Bobby Hutchins?
It is. I was going to say that's Bobby Hutchins. There at the head of that line who was turned around. Woody Pitcat also involved in it. And it brought out the caution again.
tough break for Bobby Hutchins. Bobby ended up starting on the pole for this race. There's Tom in the 32 car. A lot of cars involved. Yeah, this smaller racetrack. Here's a shot from our speed shot here. Going to be in the middle of that pack somewhere.
When you have this many cars in a race, this kind of thing can happen really easy.
It really can, and often.
Ryan Preece, still our leader. We're under caution. Welcome back. Mike Hogwood here, along with Phil Parsons and Derek Perniciglio at the Martinsville Speedway. About ready to go back to green. Same two on the front row, Ryan Preece and Burt Myers. It's been Ryan Preece the entire race who's been out front, and he gets a good jump on the restart here.
Look how black the groove is on the inside of the racetrack where their right side tires are. Racetrack really taking a lot of rubber.
These cars really stick to the racetrack too, don't they?
They really do, and as Derek told us, those wide tires, that's the key. They have a lot of horsepower and a lot of tire.
It's all about getting that footprint, which is one reason if you follow racing, you know, that's why they have the bald tires, no tread on them. And these, as Derek told us, are a lot wider.
Good battle right there. There's George Brunhosel, the third on the outside.
And Matt Hirschman in the 59, who's second in points, really trying to gain some ground today on Teddy Christopher. He's right in front of him.
That's one way to gain ground. Finish ahead of him.
Exactly.
Kevin Goodale's having a great race here, running third right now. Had a good qualifying effort.
He is. He's 12th in points. His brother, Eric Goodale, also runs in this series some.
Well, these two cars out front look really hooked up, don't they?
They seem to be the class of the field right now. Brunhosel might have a chance, but it's Preece and Myers out in front.
Goodale holding onto the third spot. He's letting the front two cars get away, so George Brunhosel is going to get a little impatient knowing that that gap is increasing in front of that third place car.
Burt Myers running second right now. He's coming off of a win. He won the last race in the Southern Modifieds at Southern National Speedway.
That was his first win of the season on the tour.
Mike Stefanik running seventh, and right behind him there, the 86. That's Ted Christopher. Teddy C back in 8th position right now.
Those guys have battled a lot of times over the years, haven't they?
I'll tell
Stefanik
you.
and Christopher.
Ted Christopher, and what a career he's had, particularly at Stafford Speedway, where he's won so many races at Stafford, they've named a grandstand after him.
He won the race the last time out at Loud, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Now, I know that was a huge win for Teddy. That was his 5th win at New Hampshire in the Modifieds.
Well, New Hampshire for the Northern, the Whelen Modified Series, that has become the real Super Bowl for these guys. But this race is important, too, the one here in Martinsville where they come south.
There's so much history at this racetrack for these type of cars. I remember being there for a doubleheader. They used to run Late Model Sportsman and the Modifieds in a doubleheader back in the day. And Richie Evans and Jeff O'Dine battling. Jeff ended up winning the race on top of the wall coming off turn 4. He and Richie got together. Jeff ended up winning that race. One of the best races I've ever seen in my life.
Another big name in Modified is George Brunhosel. His son, George Brunhosel III, is having a good race. More on him. Let's go down to Derek.
Down here in the Oval Speed Unlimited pit of George Brunhosel III. He runs in the top 5 right now. He's one of the top Southern Modified drivers. He's having a real strong run. I asked his father, George Brunhosel, how's the car right now? He says, we're okay. We're just a little bit tight right now.
Georgie got a win earlier this year at Lanier Raceway in Georgia in the Southern Division.
Yeah, he's really coming along as a driver. He also drove in the Hooter Pro Cup Series for a while.
Trying to make the move on Kevin Goodale for third.
Goodale's in that red 50, and it looks like Brunhosel's going to get by him. Look at Matt Hirschman right there on the back bumper of Brunhosel.
He says, go, George, go, George.
Oh, doesn't look like he's too tight right now, that's for sure.
Matt knows if he can get in front of that car, that's 5 more points, and he needs to get a gap between him and Teddy Christopher. He needs to gain some points today.
Well, as they go around, you see that yellow curving that is so famous at Martinsville. There it is right there in the turn. That's got to be a little unnerving at time for a driver. No, you have no margin for error there on the inside.
You really have none. I remember I was racing a cup race one time, racing with Rick Wilson, and I thought Rick got into the back of me and turned me around, but what happened was I hooked my left front on that curb, spun myself out, but I blamed Rick Wilson.
I saw Rick spin a few people out back in the day.
I like Rick.
He's a great guy down in Florida. Yeah, super person.
Good battle right here. There's Ryan Preece, our leader. He's opened up a bit of a gap over Burt Myers, who's running second. You see him right there, right of your screen.
Yeah, he's got a decent lead now, coming up on some lap cars. Ryan Preece. You know, this youngster really learned in a hurry. He did not qualify for the first 2 races last year of his young career, but then kind of found some magic, and he has steadily improved almost every race. You can see his growth.
You know, he's the grandson of the famed car builder Bobby Junkins, who had the 2X modified. He's actually the guy that started the Pinto revolution in the modified series, and he had Freddie DeSaro drove for him, Bugsy Stevens, a lot of guys. Eddie Flimke drove for him. Brett Bodine also drove for him. So a lot of guys drove Ryan Preece's grandfather's cars over the years.
Well, he has stretched out a lead now. He is cruising here at the Martinsville Speedway. And again, we have to keep mentioning this. He is only 17 years old. Started this series at 16, and boy, does he have a future ahead of him.
He sure does. You really wonder when one of these cup owners or truck owners is going to look at this kid and say, boy, I can't wait till he turns 18.
We've seen a lot of these guys make the transition. Matt Hirschman right there. Gillette Evernham Racing has signed him on as a developmental driver for the Camping World Series.
Yeah, he ran a couple races this year, right? In the East Series, had top 6 finishes both races.
Top 6 in both of them. It's not bad. You run 2 races in a stock car and haven't done it before. That was his first race in a full-bodied stock car.
And that's the nice thing about Ray Evernham. He loves these modifieds. That's where he got his start. So he's very cognizant of what's going on in this series right here.
Gave Matt Hirschman a break, and Matt Hirschman has made his way all the way up to the 4th spot. And that's Brunholzer, who's right in front of him in that blue and yellow car.
Nobody's been able to do anything with Ryan Preece. As you mentioned earlier, they're in some heavy traffic right now.
Preece doing a good job of negotiating the lap traffic.
Oh, trouble.
That is Hosfeld. Hosfeld in the 4 and Bobby Grigas in the 09 have come together. Both cars are damaged. Caution is out here. Preece and Myers still the class of the field. Ready to go back green after that caution. Bobby Grigas spun and Chuck Hosfeld. See if Ryan Preece can get another good jump on the green. Looks like Burt Myers hanging with him here, but there goes Preece.
Looked like Matt Hirschman ran in the back of Burt Myers and lost a couple spots on that restart.
Yeah, Hirschman did drop back a bit. That is...
There he is, caught up on the outside right now.
And Matt Hirschman trying to get his way back up through the field.
It's L.W. Miller on the inside of Matt Hirschman, the 36 car.
L.W. Miller's fighting for a championship in that Southern Division.
Yeah, L.W.'s won a couple times this year in the Southern Division.
L.W. from Mooresville, North Carolina, home to many of the Sprint Cup teams. He has won at Martinsville in the past as L.W. Miller.
Oh, it's trouble, got a spin. Is that Kevin Goodale?
Boy, Goodale had been running the top 5 all day long. And he has spun here, and the caution is back out. What a tough break for Kevin.
If there was any contact here. Looks like he was by himself, Mike. Just got on the throttle coming off of 4 and turned it around.
Well, it's easy to do here at this racetrack. Back under green on the restart. Preece again. Boy, he has just been awesome all day.
Kind of a broken record here, these restarts.
This is one of the dangerous parts of a race if you're a guy like Burt Myers or Ryan Preece. Everybody bunched up together. Look at the battle for 4th here, Phil.
Yeah, Hirschman on the inside, Stefanik on the outside. Zegedy and L.W. Miller right behind them.
You haven't heard Todd Zegedy's name, but he's another guy that can have a chance here today as Matt Hirschman takes that position.
LW is fighting on the outside. Loses that spot to Stefanik. Now he's side by side with Szegedy.
Todd Szegedy out of Ridgefield, Connecticut, former champion in this series back in 2003.
There's the 83 car, that blue car behind him. That's Tim Brown, the Hayes Jewelers car. First time we've seen Tim today.
Tim Brown is another guy who is battling for that championship. He's second, only 45 points behind Brian Lofton in that Southern division coming into this race.
Yeah, he won a race earlier this year at Caraway Speedway in Asheboro, North Carolina.
Bowman Gray has been a really special place to a lot of these modifieds as well.
Yeah, so many of these Southern guys have gotten their start at Bowman Gray Stadium, and we talk about a stadium. It truly is a stadium because they race around a football field at Bowman Gray.
Winston-Salem State University plays their games there every Saturday, and there's high school football at Bowman Gray on Friday nights as well. Well, one of the guys we saw out front early, Bobby Hutchins, has pulled his car into the garage area. Looks like he's done for the day. Let's go down to Derek Perniciglia.
Bobby Hutchins was a victim in that early race caution. Bobby, what happened out there?
Well, I got myself in a bad position there on the start. Knocked the right front spindle about half off, had the toe end out. So it got pretty loose, and I think I just ended up losing it up there. I think the 06 come across me and clipped me.
The crew looks like they're putting the car back together. Are you going to try to make it back out?
Now we're done for today.
Tough break for Bobby Hutchins. They're putting the car back together right now, guys.
Bobby Hutchins, really one of the most respected guys in racing these days.
He really is. He's been with trouble on the racetrack. We had a spin right in front of our leader. Yeah, Bobby was a longtime employee of Richard Childress Racing. So much success with Dale Sr. over the years and has moved over to DEI now.
We see Eric Goodale has brought out the caution once again, so we'll take a break here in the Made in America Whelen 300. Ryan Preece on the inside has been out in front all day, and you might think on these restarts, Burt Myers, that's where he thinks he might have a shot at it.
This is going to be his best chance. It doesn't look like he can run with Ryan once they go green. He's got to be waiting for the halftime break to make some adjustments on that car to see if he can make it a little bit better.
I don't know what's up with Matt Hirschman on the restarts, but that's another poor restart for that 59.
It really was. One time he ran in the back of Burt Myers and lost several positions. He's fought his way back now to the 4th spot.
He gets going pretty good, but on the restarts.
Good battle right, yeah, good battle right there. Tim Brown, little contact with Szegedy and Stefanik. That's Tim Brown trying to get underneath Stefanik.
Tim Brown from the Southern Series, Stefanik, Todd Szegedy from the Whelen Modified Series of the Northern Series. Trouble, and one of those involved looks like is Jamie Tomeno. Boy, there are cars everywhere.
Well, there really are. There's the 50 of Kevin Goodale.
7 of Glenn Reen.
Look at the straightaway blocked.
Boy, a tough break for Tomeno. You know, we talk about 500 races in this series. He's running 496 of them. That's incredible.
That really is incredible. What staying power. And you know, Jamie Tomeno had a successful career prior to the Whelen Series being formed in '85 in the modifieds.
There's Tomeno's car, and before the race, we had a chance to talk to Jamie about those 496 races.
When this tour first started back in 1985, whether the tour was going to work or not work, nobody knew. And when we first started racing, there was no provisionals. And the 3rd or 4th race I went to, I was actually leading the points when it first started. And at the Spring Sizzler, we had the time trial, we had to run heat races, and we had to run consies. Well, I had bad luck on all 3, and I didn't qualify, and they sent me home as the point leader. And then as the years progressed, they had to keep on changing the rules because we had provisionals for a couple, then we had no past champ provisionals. And the reason I missed them races, I attended every one of these races, and some of them I went to 2, 3, 4 times. So I probably been to 1,500 of them. But because of the rules and how they had to change the stuff, that's why we missed them back in the early days.
Well, he's been around a while and a great driver. He won the championship in 1990. Under caution here at Martinsville. Halfway through, Phil, time for a break.
It really is. Time for a break and time for some adjustments. So you see Ryan Preece's car sitting by itself. If my car is that good, I'm not going to make any adjustments on it.
Oh, Ryan Preece has been awfully strong today, and he's with Derek.
Lap 150, Ryan. We're already into the halfway break, but you're really showing the muscle of Old Blue.
Yeah, the crew was telling me, I mean, I was just trying to save brakes. I was going about 80%. Still had another 20% in it. The car's real good. It's got good forward bite. It's getting into the corner real good. I think we're going to have a real stout car for the next 150.
The car was perfect for this first half of the race. Are you worried that it's going to go in a different direction for the second half, or are you confident in the car?
I'm real confident in the car. I think we got a winning car right now.
Okay, guys, you heard it here. Ryan Preece looks for his first ever Whelen Modified Tour victory.
The guy that's been on his bumper all day has been Burt Myers as we look at the mid-race standings. Derek's made his way over to Burt Myers' car.
Well, Ryan Preece and Burt Myers started 1-2. That's how they run right now, but Ryan Preece said he's got a real strong car. He's not pushing it all the way. Can you catch him?
I think so. It seems on the real fresh tires, he gets away from me a little bit, but the longer we run, the car really starts to come to him. And I hadn't used all I've got yet either, so hopefully I'm going to save enough to where we can be here at the end. Brakes look good, tires look good. Hey, we're sitting good right now.
Well, guys, if you look up here by Burt Myers' name on the car, he's got the ace of spades on the roof. He's not ready to show his hand just yet.
I like that on the roof of that car. Awesome. Well, the work continues, and a lot of crews we're seeing making some major adjustments here.
Yeah, I think now's the time to do it. You have to, they're going to give you some time to do it. Take advantage of that time.
Teddy Christopher is in the top 10. Derek's caught up with him.
We talked to Ryan Preece, we talked to Burt Myers. They said that they haven't shown their hand yet. You were really strong in the beginning, but now the car looks like it's just settled in. Have you not shown your hand yet either?
What happened is the alternator wire broke off, so we've been skipping for like 75 laps, and they got it fixed, and hopefully we'll put a new battery in it, and hopefully we'll be better now.
When we talked earlier in the day, you said you've come from 10th and won it. Do you think you can do it again today?
I'll try like hell.
Well, guys, you heard it here. Ted Christopher is going to try to push it from where he restarts.
What a huge break for Teddy Christopher. This halftime break gives him a chance to fix that car. We'll be back with a restart from Martinsville right after these messages.
Ready now to start the second half in this Whelen modified race. 500th race in this series. Now we're going to say who made the right adjustment.
Exactly. We know Ryan Preece really didn't make many changes, but did Burt Myers make some changes, and are they going to be enough to race with that 3 car?
Well, let's see if Matt Hirschman can get a better restart this time.
He got a good restart, but Burt Myers didn't get a good restart on the outside of the front row.
George Brunholzl there on the inside. Ryan Preece, just like he did in the first half, he's out in front, the young 17-year-old.
George ran through a little speed zor back on the backstretch over there from that earlier incident right before the halftime break. Good battle for third. George Brunholzl on the inside, Hirschman on the outside.
Matt Hirschman, what a win would mean for him here today as he's trying to close in on Teddy Christopher in the point standings.
And that's won one race this year at Spencer, New York.
Now they're kind of strung out a little bit in single file, the first 6 in the running order, led by Kensington, Connecticut's Ryan Preece.
They're really impressed by a lot of these guys up front. Obviously, they've been good this entire race. George Brunholzl, the third, has had a terrific race here. There's Tim Brown battling on the inside in that blue car.
Brown, of course, battling for the points championship in the Southern Modified Series.
It's L.W. Miller on the outside of him. He's the guy right now running second in the points.
Tim Brown was in that 83, that dark blue 83 on the inside.
Hayes Jewelers on the side of that car. Bruce Hayes, a longtime supporter of racing in
really
general,
has been, yeah.
Especially the Modified Series. So much success with Satch Worley back in the day in the Modified Series.
L.W. Miller is in the 36th, losing a spot now on the outside.
That was Eddie Flemke in the 10, getting by L.W.
Haven't talked about Eddie Flemke much today. The son of Ed Flemke Sr., one of the greatest modified drivers of all time.
Yeah, Eddie's won a race this year at Thompson, so he's been to victory lane this season.
And he's another guy that has come close to a championship in this series, but has never won one.
Look how close those guys get with those big tires. L.W. Miller's backing up a little bit. Teddy Christopher got by. Remember, Teddy said he was able to make some repairs to that car. The alternator wire had broken.
You know, when you watch a stock car race here, you see a lot of rubbing, a lot of beating and banging. Well, there's nothing to beat and bang. Here it's just tire to tire.
Yeah, tire on tire, and that's not something you want to do a whole lot of beating on. But we do see these guys make some contact with these cars.
Reggie Ruggiero right in front of Teddy Christopher.
There's a lot of races and a lot of wins between those two guys.
Ruggiero, second all-time in this series in wins, third all-time in poles. Another guy's never won a title. But he finished there in the 11th car in the middle of your screen, has finished second in the points 7 times.
That's incredible, isn't it?
I think one time he lost the championship by something like 6 points.
Very successful car building business for Reg. Eric Beers, the 46 cars, joined this battle. We haven't seen Eric much today. Reggie looks to the inside of Eddie Flemke, not able to make. Ooh, there comes Eric Beers getting by Teddy Christopher.
Not easy to pass here on this racetrack. But here we are in the second half, and Teddy Christopher, the points leader, has got to be a little bit careful there.
Well, he really does. He doesn't want to give it away here, especially with such a big starting field. We started 43 cars here. If you have trouble, you know, you could lose so many points that may be insurmountable. A lot of the races that these guys run, they may only start 24 cars on some of the shorter tracks.
We've only had a couple to drop out, including Bobby Hutchins, who came here with a strong car.
Set on the pole after the redraw. After qualifying, they redrew the top 8 positions.
And Ruggiero is going to pull on the inside.
Little contact there with he and Eddie Flemke. Teddy Christopher gets by as well as Eric Beers in the 46.
Some good racing back in the pack here as the 9th position is on the line, and out front, just cruising today is Ryan Preece.
George Brunholz has been able to run down the one of Burt Myers in a battle for second. There's Todd Zegedy right there. Todd, I think, is running in trouble on the racetrack.
Andy Seuss has turned it around and has hit the inside wall. Caution is out here. We're in the second half of this race. Ryan Preece still leads. Ready to go back green. The field is bunched up 2 by 2. It's been Preece and Myers all day on these restarts.
All afternoon. Burt Myers not able to do anything with Ryan Preece on these restarts. A little bit better restart that time. Matt Hirschman right behind Burt Myers, but still not able to beat Ryan Preece down into corner number 1.
Well, Preece has just been awesome on those restarts. One thing we're starting to see here as the afternoon progresses, and you have driven this, when you come around and come on the front stretch, you get in the shade a little bit. See right there, they're in the shade, and the shade in the sunshine. It's got to be a little different for a driver.
It is, it really is. And all that rubber that's built up on the racetrack, you would think typically that rubber will make the racetrack a little bit slick. But I saw Ryan Preece's right side tires are right dead in that rubber patch right there. Watch him right there. Maybe a hair below that, and he's getting a great grip off the corner.
Battle for position back there is Matt Hirschman. There's more trouble. Jason Myers. Well, that's the second time today Jason has had some trouble.
Like the 09, maybe Bobby Grigas involved in that as well.
Ooh. Second time he's been involved in something.
There had to be some contact tire to tire, because that car shot straight out to the outside wall.
Boy, that car really hit the wall, but it looks like Myers is okay. He's climbing out of the race car.
He just about hit that wall head on. Good to see him get out of that car.
Well, we're under caution again. We'll take a break here in Martinsville. This has been a broken record all day with Myers and Preece there. This time you see Hirschman on the outside in that 59 car. Let's see what kind of restart he can get.
Yeah, Brunholz on the inside running third right now. Myers hanging in there pretty well. See what he can do when he gets down to turn number 1.
And a much better restart for Hirschman. Myers still doesn't have anything for 17-year-old Ryan Preece.
He gets such a good bite through the center and off the corner that Burt Myers just can't do anything with him.
Old Blue came to race today, no doubt about it. Hirschman now in third.
George Brunholz takes a 4th spot back.
Oh, here comes Myers. See that? Took a little look on the inside.
That's the first time we've seen, ooh, look at Ryan Preece get a little bit loose there.
Preece says he's only used 80% of the car in the first half, but you heard Myers tell Derek he's got something left too. Oh, it looked like he slipped up high, and there comes Myers.
It looked like Myers may have pushed Ryan Preece into the corner, got him into the corner a little bit too hard, slid up the racetrack. Now he's lost first and second.
Matt Hirschman is second, and for the first time today, Burt Myers has taken his car to the front.
No trouble on the racetrack.
There is a spin. Caution is out. Danny Salmons is in it, the 0 car. He's having trouble getting refire there. See if we can see what happened.
Ooh, somebody got in the back of that black guy. It was Eric Beer has got in the back of that car, and then this is just the aftermath. Danny Salmons gets turned around.
I don't know if he's had any impact, but it is really tough to see right now. The sun is starting to set here late in the day. Let's get more from Derek.
Well, I'm giving you an example of what it's like to see out there. Right now, we're in that late stage of the day where the sun is starting to go down. As the cars come off of turn number 4, they can't see coming down the front straightaway. The entire front straightaway is in the shade, but as they come through turns 3 and 4, the sun is getting in the driver's eyes and blinding them as they come off the corner.
And that could be very, very difficult, but most of the drivers will probably take precautions and have maybe a dark tear off on their helmet visors in the event of that. But, you know, they don't have traditional windshields like the Cup cars or a Nationwide car or truck would have, where they can put tape on the windshield.
Look at this, Bill. NASCAR has reverted back to the last lap, and Ryan Preece, big break for him. He is going to start on the inside now in the front row.
Yeah, that was a huge break. He had lost first and second to Burt Myers and Matt Hirschman, but NASCAR put him back because they reverted back to the previous lap prior to the caution flag.
Got a glimpse of that sun there, and here's the restart. Myers and Preece. Myers had taken the lead away from him. Burt Myers on the outside of that 28, Matt Hirschman in the 59. Boy, Hirschman looked like he wanted to battle for second place.
Burt Myers gets a good bite on the outside, but here Hirschman battles back on the inside. Little contact.
I don't see how those guys hold it when they hit tires with each other.
And NASCAR does a nice job with the rules, though, with the Nerf bars. Try to protect those tires as much as they can.
Preece with a good restart is back out in front.
It's the same old song we saw early in this race with Burt Myers chasing Ryan Preece. A good battle for sixth back there. Rex Ruggiero on the inside
and
of George Brunhosel. Yeah, there comes Eddie Flemke in the 10 on the inside.
Flemke and Brunhosel are side by side. Reggie Ruggiero is in the 6th position now, the veteran.
Well, Brunhosel slips up the racetrack, loses a couple more spots.
This was not a great restart at all for George Brunhosel. Meanwhile, Jason Myers, who was in that accident a moment ago, has made his way to the garage, and Derek has caught up with him.
Well, right now, Jason Myers' car looks a whole lot worse than the driver. The car went off on the double hook, but Jason, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. With the safety restraints and all NASCAR's got on us, I mean, everything held up great. I mean, I hit really, really hard, and I'm not shook up. I mean, you know, everything's fine, but the car, they might have needed 3 records for it.
From your vantage point, did you see what happened?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was on the outside of Flemke, and I got loose, and when I was trying to correct it, my left front got into him, and it just shot me head on in the wall off the corner.
Well, tough break for Jason Myers. He finds himself out before the end of the race.
Yeah, it was. It was good to see that he is okay. Meanwhile, Ryan Preece is still leading Burt Myers. Burt flirted with the lead for a little while. Matt Hirschman is third.
Actually took the lead, and then NASCAR took the lead back when we had an incident right after he was able to take the lead. But he passed him clean. He may have made a little bit of contact getting in the corner, but there was definitely no question that he got by him.
You know, we still got a ways to go in this race, and you got to wonder if guys like Hirschman and Burt Myers might be holding back just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's a situation where you want to save your tires for the end of the race because track position is so critical here. it's not the easiest place to pass on. So I think you want to have what you have here. And if you can save your tires, run up in these first 4 or 5 spots here, have something for the end. That's the key.
You know, you wonder about Burt Myers, who said in the halftime break he still had a lot left. Let's find out. Let's go down to Derek Bernasiglio.
Down in the Southern Modified Tour pit, the Dirty South #1 of Burt Myers. He runs in second right now. I just talked to the crew chief and I said, do you have anything for the leader? He shrugged his shoulders and he said, we'll see. We're just riding right now. About lap 250 is when we're going to let Burt go, he said.
It's tough to hold a driver back like that, isn't it?
It is, but that's a great strategy. You know, with about 50 laps to go, do whatever you can do to try to get by that 3 of Ryan Preece.
I hope you still have a lot of race car left under you. Ryan Preece is our leader. Burt Myers coming on strong. Welcome back to the Made in America Whelen 300 here at the Martinsville Speedway. This is the 500th race in this Whelen Modified Series. There's Teddy Christopher and Matt Hirschman, top 2 in the points.
Yeah, great battle for third right now. This is as high as Teddy's been. Remember, he told Derek at the halftime break that his alternator was going dead. They replaced the battery, fixed the alternator wire. Looks like it worked. You
know, I think guys like Ted Christopher, who's such a smart racer, he's been saving that car and now realizes it's time to go a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, now he's got something to do it with. When the car was missing before the halftime break, he had dropped back to the tail end of the top 10. Didn't have any way to combat that, but now he's got a good race car. He's up in the top 4.
Young Ryan Preece still going for his first win of the season. He's been out in front most of the day here today.
Matt Hirschman's caught up to Burt Myers, only a couple car lengths behind him right now. That's a battle for the second spot.
Hirschman, a youngster who has tried some full body stock cars this year, but son of the legendary Tony Hirschman, and has driven a great race so far. You know, we haven't had a lot of attrition in this race today.
We really haven't. We've had a number of spins, but not that many cars out of the race like Bobby Hutchins that was knocked out of the race.
Well, we've had another driver that's gone out of the race. With more on that, let's head down to Derek Bernasiglio.
Andy Seiss finds himself in the garage. You were running in the top 10. You took a hard shot out there, but what happened? We heard you got mixed up in the speedy drive.
Yeah, the car was running real great. You know, these guys, Rick Race, Vance Auto Parts gave me a great car tonight. Made it all the way from 29th up to 7th, and I think we had a real shot at it. Battery started going dead. They told me to bring it in the garage. You know, I slowed the car up, turned down in here, and just hit the speedy drive when I was going to cut in and hit the pit road wall. It's a shame. You know, it's frustrating, but, you know, it's good that we know we had a good car.
Tough to see Andy out of the race. Andy Seiss.
Meanwhile, this guy, Ryan Preece, has had a pretty flawless race.
You gotta wonder what's going through that youngster's mind now. Only his second season in this series, just 17 years old. He's racing with all these wily veterans, but he definitely is the class of the field right now.
Well, he has a veteran paint job on that car.
Also,
that thing has had so much success in this series.
Old Blue, they called it. Made famous by the net.
All sorts of names. Freddie Gassaro.
Bowler, Mike McLaughlin. Ron Bouchard drove that car.
I think Kenny Bouchard drove it as well, Ron's brother. So a lot of history for that paint scheme and number.
Burt Myers trying to make some history here today. No one from the Southern Modified Series has won this race. Of course, this is just the 4th year for the Southern Mods. Is Matt Hirschman still in that 3rd position.
Matt's trying to pick up his second one of the season. The 59 car.
And again, as we mentioned this before, his dad, a 5-time champion. So, you know, he learned from one of the masters.
It's so important, though. He was a crew chief for at least a couple of those championships for his dad. So important to have a knowledge of these cars. I really think it makes you a better driver.
Both he and Teddy Christopher getting by the lap car of Danny Salmons.
Danny was involved in one of those earlier caution flags we had.
There's Teddy C in the center of your screen, and the 86 comes in here as the points leader. 99-point lead over Matt Hirschman coming into the race today. Still several races left in the Whelen Modified Series, you've got to go to Stafford, got to go to Chemung, and back to Thompson. All those places, big modified racetracks.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. What a great series here. We've seen so many drivers transfer from this series on to bigger and better things. Obviously, the Bodine family comes to mind, first off.
But we've seen some guys just love it and stay here. Jamie Tomeno, Reggie Ruggiero, Ted Christopher has ventured out from time to time, but always seems to come back. Same for Mike Stefanik, who's been here for so long.
Mike ran the East Series, used to be the North Series for a number of years, and dabbled a little bit in the Busch Series and in the trucks over the years.
Right, he's tried several different series here in NASCAR. There, speaking of the devil, that is Reggie Ruggiero in that red number 11, trying to make a move.
Reggie runs in the 5th spot right now.
And having a great run today, making his way up into the top 5 as we'll walk back through the field just a little bit.
There's that blue car right there. I believe that's Todd Szegedy. Todd runs in the 6th position right now. Todd won earlier this year at Thompson.
Former champion in the series. Todd Szegedy from Ridgefield, Connecticut.
Had a few Busch Series starts a few years ago for Joe Nemechek. We thought a lot of Todd Szegedy.
And Ed Flemke is running in the 7th position right now.
A pretty good run going for Eddie Flemke. Eddie's a 2-time winner this year.
Involved with Ron Bouchard in that car, and Flemke out of Southington, Connecticut.
Actually, he won 1 race this year. That was at Thompson as well.
And he's come close, but has never won a title in this series. Rowan Pennick, car 93, is currently running 8th out of Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. This just his 2nd season in this series for Rowan Pennick. So a good run going here today amongst all the veterans.
It really is. This is a heck of a field of cars. You have all the best that the North can bring, as well as all these great Southern modified racers as well.
And Brian Lofton, who is the points leader in the Southern Modified Series. Battle for 9th right here with the 88 car. That's Woody Pitcat who takes it away from him.
You notice Lofton motioned for Woody to go by on the outside. He let him go out. Undoubtedly, he felt like Woody was a little bit faster. We've seen Lofton get involved in a couple earlier spins earlier in this race. Still running in the top 10 right now.
Woody took over for James Savali in that 88 car. Actually, in the regular series, it's 28. But because the 28 in the Southern mods had more points, he got to keep the 28, and we saw Woody have to go to the 88.
Burt Myers has caught Ryan Preece. Now we've got a battle for the lead heating up. Burt all over the back of Ryan Preece.
Is this the moment that Burt Myers will finally catch up and take the lead, or will Ryan Preece be able to hang on to it?
I tell you, Ryan has driven such a flawless race. We have a little bit of heavy traffic in front of them. See if maybe Burt Myers can take advantage of this traffic.
This is a tough part of a race when you have to negotiate your way through all this lap traffic.
A lot more of the racetrack now in the shade we were talking earlier. Now they're back into the sunshine, coming off the 2 on the backstretch.
We got a glimpse there of that bright sun, and it really is in the face of these drivers right there. Makes it tough to see.
They're awfully glad when they get to that straightaway and the sun goes behind the grandstands. Right now, Burt Myers, I think his crew has told him it's time to go if you can go.
Yeah, but you got to pick your spot. It's not easy to pass here.
Maybe you can take a little bit of an advantage as they lap the 46 car of Eric Beers. If they can take advantage of the lap cars, maybe get Ryan Preece pinned up or pinned down behind a lap car.
When you drove here, Phil, where did you find the best place to pass?
You really wanted to get that car turned in the center of the corner we talked earlier, and just try to get a nose up underneath somebody up off the corner. And then once you got position on them, then you had the bottom of the racetrack, and that's undoubtedly the preferred line, and that's where everyone usually makes their passes on the bottom. it's pretty difficult to make a pass on the outside, but if you can get underneath somebody up off the corner and stay with them into the next corner and force them up the racetrack, then you can use that bottom to get by him.
Myers still has not caught up to Ryan Preece. He has been able to maintain a distance of several car lengths. But he knows he's there, that's for sure.
You know, Ryan told us at the halftime break he was only using about 80% of his car. When Burt Myers makes that challenge, we'll see if he's got that other 20% in reserve.
Yeah, Burt Myers told us so he had something left too.
What, is he holding 15% or 20 or 25 or what?
I think we're going to see real soon here. Matter of fact, that gap is closing between those two at the front. We mentioned Burt Myers, who runs a lot at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. No, here he comes on the inside, just what you were talking about.
He's able to make that pass. Looked like Ryan Preece spun the tires a little bit up off that corner, and Burt Myers just drove by him on the inside.
New leader, it's Burt Myers out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina.
Boy, this is huge for Burt Myers, and really for all the Whelen Southern guys to see one of their own up there in the lead.
They were battling with the lap traffic of Glenn Tyler. He's pulled his car on pit road.
Mike Stefanik got lapped a couple moments ago, which is a huge upset to see him get lapped.
Well, these two cars are definitely the fastest here on this racetrack.
There's L.W. Miller right there. He currently is running in the 14th spot. There's Tim Brown right behind him.
And those two are battling for points, Phil.
Yeah, they sure are. L.W. came in this race only just 50-some points behind Brian Lofton in second.
L.W. Miller and Tim Brown are separated between second and third by a total of 2 points.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That's pretty close. About as close as you can get. So every pass means a position in the point standings.
It looks like L.W. has a little bit of trouble with the handling in his car. It looks like the handling's gone away. He is sliding off those corners.
Tim Brown hanging right with him. Brown's a native of here in Virginia, one of the few Virginia drivers that's in this field. He's out of Cana, Virginia.
L.W. trying to keep that car right down on the bottom of the racetrack to prevent Tim from getting underneath him.
Boy, great battle between these two, and these two have battled all season long in this Southern Modified division, so they know what each other is going to do.
The L.W. has a couple wins. Tim has 1 win this season in the Southern Whelen Series.
L.W. also has a win here in Martinsville on his resume.
He had a handful of steering wheel this last time coming off turn number 4. Tim Brown's going to try to take advantage of that lap car.
Not able to do it.
See, L.W. is all over the racetrack. Tim's going to think about making a move to the outside, not able to do it. Now he's going to switch back over to the inside. Just can't quite get up beside him.
That's what you want to do. You want to get down on the inside if you can.
A little bit of a bump right there in the center of the corner.
That's been famous here at Martinsville in all kinds of series, that little bump and run on the inside.
You have a little short, flat half mile like this, you're going to see a lot of bumping no matter what kind of series you're racing in.
Not only a battle for position on the racetrack, a battle for position in the point standings. L.W. Miller and Tim Brown.
L.W. Miller came in here with a little bit of an advantage over Tim Brown. Right, if Tim Brown could get by him, it would reverse. Tim Brown would now be in second points.
Meanwhile, up front, Burt Myers.
That actually put Tim Brown a lap down right there, and that's L.W. Miller right in front of Burt Myers.
Burt Myers is flying right now around this racetrack. Burt Myers is your leader as we get down to the final stages of this race here at Martinsville. Welcome back to Martinsville and the Made in America Whelen 300. We're down to the final laps now, and I'll tell you what, Burt Myers wasn't kidding. He had something left in that race car.
He really did. Now, Ryan Preece obviously does not have quite as much left as he thought he had at the halftime break. But you see right here, 10 laps to go. Battle right there, Teddy Christopher in the 86 car, Reg Ruggiero in the 11. That's a battle for position up in the top 5.
But up front, it's not even close now. Ryan Preece trying desperately to catch up to Burt Myers. Be able to do it. Ted Christopher in 4th. Ruggiero is in the 5th position right now. Ted Christopher would maintain his points lead if the race ended like it is right now.
Mike Stefanik going another lap down. Not a good effort for him. You see him move over to the inside of the racetrack. Something obviously wrong with that car.
He has not had a good day. His car normally competing up there in the top 5 or competing for a win. Tough day for Mike Stefanik.
Teddy C would love to stay ahead of this 11 of Reg Ruggiero because that's 5 points. If he was to let the 11 by, he would lose 5 points, and every point counts. He knows his closest pursuer right now, Matt Hirschman, is running up in front of him in the 3rd spot.
You know, there are great battles all over this racetrack. It's one of the things you love about racing is Ruggiero tries to take a look on the inside.
He gets down to the bottom on the inside. Teddy's not giving him a whole lot of room.
Side by side, Ruggiero for the position. And I think Teddy C said let him have it.
Yeah, he knows it's 5 points, but it's better to let the 5 points go instead of taking advantage, take a chance of getting turned around and losing maybe 50 points.
Yeah, spin would just be deadly for someone like Teddy C and battling for that title. Up front, Burt Myers continues to just cruise around this racetrack. Christopher, as you see, has fallen to 5th place.
I know Teddy's going to be disappointed with this run here today if he remains in this position right here, because he's letting Matt Hirschman gain points on him, and Teddy came into this race wanting to win this race, not thinking as much about points as wanting to get another win.
Yeah, but as long as he has been racing modifieds and to have never won a championship, that's got to be foremost on his mind.
He's trying to win the war here, not necessarily this battle, but put on a great show last time out at Loudon, got that big win, his 4th of the season.
And again, there are a couple of races to go in this season. Stafford, Connecticut, a huge race. Chemung, big race there, and then Thompson. The place will be packed. Final race of the season.
Right now, a big race for Burt Myers. We don't even see Ryan Preece. Burt's opened a huge lead over Ryan Preece right now.
White flag's coming out this time. White flag is out. Final lap now for Burt Myers. Trying to bring it home and get a win. Here at Martinsville.
Couple lap cars side by side right in front of him. He's just going to back off. No sense racing those guys.
No way. He's going to bring it home and take the checkers. Burt Myers wins here in this Whelen modified combination race today, the 500th race of this modified series.
See Ryan Preece pull up beside Burt Myers to congratulate him.
Matt Hirschman finished 3rd.
You know, it's got to be a tremendously disappointing race for Ryan Preece. He dominated so much of this race.
Well, here's the unofficial results. Reggie Ruggiero with that pass comes home 4th.
Matt Hirschman finishes 2 spots in front of Teddy Christopher. Will gain 10 points on Teddy.
Back through the field, Davey Tomato there.
He's been to every one of these 500 races.
Mike Stefanik, 24th. Disappointing run for him.
Frank Fleming, local racer here in the 07, finishes back in the 37th position.
Bobby Hutchins, one of the early cars to drop out of this race. Well, let's go down to victory lane. Here is Derek with the winner, Burt Myers.
Well, guys, the South has risen again. Burt Myers scores an upset win here at the Martinsville Speedway. He is the first Southern modified driver since Johnny Bryant in 1985 to pick up the win. Burt, come on over here. We heard you screaming on the radio before. Congratulations. How about that Dirty South?
Hey, is this Martinsville? We won Martinsville.
This is Martinsville. You go home with the clock.
I tell you what, this just tops it all. I mean, I've won championships and I've won races, but to come up here and to beat the competition we beat today, we beat them good too. But we've worked our tail off for this. First time in my life I've had a motor that'll actually run down the straightaway. Roush Shakes racing power right there, baby, and it proved it.
Was lap traffic a factor to help you win tonight?
Actually, my car was, the longer we ran, the better my car got. And lap traffic played into my favor there, so it was awesome.
That's one excited driver, Burt Myers, and he should be.
Absolutely. What a great job he did. He stalked Ryan Preece forever and finally got by him.
Well, let's hear from our second place finisher, Ryan Preece.
Ryan Preece splits his time between NEMA Midgets and the NASCAR Modifieds. A lot of open wheel time for you. You led the most laps today, but come up one spot short.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker, man. I mean, to get past with I think it was 25-30 to go. I just heard him closing in. My car got a little loose. I mean, the rubber buildup just kind of hurt me a little bit, and it came in my line. I tried searching for another line and just came up a little short. And congratulations to Burt and his whole crew. They worked their butts off, and I feel bad for my crew because I worked so hard to get them that win today. But second's real good. I mean, we got a lot of bonus money today, so I'll take it any day.
Yeah, that's his second consecutive second-place finish. Second at Loudon last time out.
Great run today for Matt Hirschman in that 59 car. And let's go back down and hear from Matt now, who's with Derek.
Matt Hirschman finishes third today. You said to beat Teddy for the championship, you got to do it on the track, and you did just that.
Yeah, we did. It's a step in the right direction today. I said before the race, if we're going to beat him for the championship, we got to beat him on the racetrack, and we did that today. Not by much, but anything helps at this point. And we got 3 races to go, and it's certainly far from over. So I'm looking forward to the next 3 races, and if we can beat him again, we're going to close some more.
And Phil, we have just gotten word from NASCAR and the officials with this Whelen Modified Tour that the winning car of Burt Myers has not passed inspection, and they're taking the win away from it.
Yeah, that's huge. They found a transmission with an overdrive third gear. And essentially what that means is that he could actually shift that car into third gear and turn more RPMs than the other guys. They have a third gear rule. He did not adhere to that third gear rule, so he was able to use third gear, turn more RPMs than the rest of the field was.
So the winner is now Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece is the winner. Matt Hirschman is the runner-up here in this race at Martinsville. And again, Burt Myers has been disqualified. Tough break. But Ryan Preece, our congratulations to the 17-year-old who is now officially the winner here at Martinsville. For Derek Perniciglio and Phil Parsons, I'm Mike Hawkwood saying so long from Martinsville, Virginia.